Welcome back to Senior Savvy Cannabis. I'm Catherine Goldberg, and today we're joined again by Chase Warner, the home grow coach from Triangle Seeds. Chase, I want to ask you specifically today about how to grow indoor weed on a budget.
Cool.
I know we're already a month into our experiment, but can we just take a step back and talk about, does growing weed indoors have to be expensive? And can we share with the audience a little bit about our philosophy and how we are approaching My First Grow?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So indoor growing, to be successful with indoor growing of cannabis, it does take some investment. If you're really budget constrained, you can definitely grow outdoors for cheaper. But in the indoor realm, you do need to spend some money. However, there's a wide spectrum. You can get really spendy with all the gadgets. But we're going to try to demonstrate, I think, with this grow, like a baseline. You know, how can you do it with a reasonable expectation of success for as little money as possible? It's kind of the challenge I think we're setting ourselves up for.
Before we talk about the specifics on the equipment, can we just take a step back and talk about kind of growing as a philosophy?
Sure.
Something that I've noticed with creative endeavors in general is that when I buy more stuff, I feel less satisfied. I don't know if it's because I can automate and then I stop thinking, or it reminds me of that quote about like necessity is the mother of innovation. So I was
Invention.
What?
Invention.
Invention? Invention? Okay, oops. What's the whole quote?
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Okay.
Maybe innovation, I think, works too.
I think they're synonymous.
So.
Okay. Anyway, so I see all these people like in the comments, everyone's like, you got to buy this, you got to buy that, you got to buy this. We've come to the conclusion that, in fact, I don't have to buy everything.
No.
So by the way, Chase, you know a lot. Like a lot about the technical aspects of growing good weed. How did you learn this? And why are you qualified to help me with my first grow?
That's a great question. Okay. Surprised you waited this long to ask me that.
I know. I just trusted you. You just emailed me and I was like, I love you. Come over.
Sure. Okay. So I started growing hydroponically when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
Which was...
Like half your life ago?
Yeah. I'm trying to do the math, 21 years ago. I got into it just as a hobby. I started growing hydroponic lettuce. Because I was at my parents' house.
That's cute.
And that's all they'd let me grow. I was interested in cannabis as well at the time, as most kids were.
Did you eat the lettuce?
For sure, and I sold it too. It was one of my first businesses.
Oh, really?
Yep, yeah. So I started a hydroponic lettuce business in high school, and then that got me involved in going to college for business and hydroponics or horticulture. During college, you know, I wanted to get some. I knew I wanted to start a horticulture-related business, and I wanted to get some experience. And so I tried to get a job at the local hydroponic grow shop in my hometown. They wouldn't hire me.
Because you were a child?
I was a sophomore in college.
Okay.
So 19.
Okay.
I mean, it's all relative. But they wouldn't hire me, and so I kind of used my network then, and I had a mutual friend who was living in California, and I was able to go out there and work at a hydroponic store for the summer. It's kind of a co-op internship thing. But it was awesome because I got my medical card, and I was like helping dispensaries set up their grows as a 19-year-old in California.
Wow, like the vertically integrated dispensaries?
At that time, they weren't all vertical. You had growers, I think.
Okay.
I mean, this was 2008.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, helping just, you know, smaller grows, indoor grows, and just helping homeowners. And so I did that for the summer, and then I came back, and the place in Raleigh hired me. The grow shop in Raleigh hired me, and then I worked there for the remainder of college, running systems in the store, all kinds of hydro systems, soil grows outside, helping homeowners in North Carolina. It was all tomatoes in those days in North Carolina.
But the skills are transferred. But you just called them tomatoes, but
sure,
everyone knew what you were talking about?
No, 90% of our customers were growing cannabis.
Okay.
Yeah, give or take. They're 10% were organic gardeners.
For sure.
And so, yeah, I did that. And then after college, I managed that store, got promoted to manager. And during that time, wrote a business plan for a hydroponic produce greenhouse. So worked at the hydro shop, then set up a kind of a demonstration system, partnered up with Matt, my current business partner, in Triangle Seeds. And we started a business called Endless Sun Farms. It was basically commercial hydroponic produce. And so we did NFT lettuce, which is like gutter style lettuce, tomatoes, microgreens, basil, and we sold to restaurants and produce distributors. Did that for a few years, and then we got a hemp permit in North Carolina. And I guess I should take a step back and mention that I was growing in basements and closets since I was 19. So my parents caught me twice growing in their house.
Did you get in trouble?
I was that dumb.
Uh-oh.
I did get in trouble.
You did?
I was a kid, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep. So, grew, in the basement for a while there, but professionally it was vegetables.
It seems like the skills transfer over, because we've had a lot of technical conversations about water and pH and air quality and humidity. Are all those is it across all of produce?
Yeah, I mean, especially with hydroponics. Hydroponics is really niche and is generally practiced in greenhouses or indoor settings.
Okay.
And so there's a ton of foundational knowledge. You have cannabis specific knowledge, such as like training, when to harvest, curing and drying. But the basics of botany or horticultural science are the same.
Okay.
Across all crops, the principles.
Okay.
So it was, it's all, I consider myself a grower, clearly at this point. We had the vegetable business for a few years, and then we got the hemp permit, and we got a bunch of genetics from Colorado when the North Carolina program was starting, and tested them for CBD. This was when CBD was the thing to grow. It was 2017. And we got some genetics that tested really high in CBD, and we marketed ourselves as basically a clone nursery. So, clones, genetic copies, taking cuttings.
Interesting.
People have done it for a long time, propagation by cutting, but we did that and supplied over 1 million clones up and down the East Coast to commercial farmers and growers. And then we got into making feminized seed and we did a 4-acre seed run, so we produced like 20 million feminized seed. We sold a few million of those at this point. But then, of course, the industry kind of collapsed in like 2019 was the overproduction. But then there was kind of just like a slow decline after that, away from CBD. And so we kind of got out of that business really. And there was no business to get out of, frankly, because all the CBD growers stopped growing, which was tough. It was tough for a lot of people that we sold plants to, couldn't make a go of the industry, which sucked. But we've tried to stay in it. And so that's when we pivoted to all types of cannabis seed. And so we don't currently breed anymore, but we buy from breeders that we know and other suppliers that we've worked with over the last few years to provide all kinds of seed, all kinds of cannabis seed.
Wow.
So yeah,
wow.
Sorry, I might have just gone on by myself way too long, but
for the guy who
story.
said that Chase has never grown weed in his life, there's your answer.
Oh yeah, comment.
Yeah, that one guy.
Yeah, I've grown, but
grown. Okay. So is it, were you excited by me being not only a novice, but like a legit, like whatever the step is before a novice, like I came to you being—
You're not even a plant person.
I'm not even a plant.
Right.
I've never had a plant before in my life. So being
it's a fun situation.
Yeah, being like, okay, like, so, and just for full disclosure, so Spider Farmer reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want to send you this tent to test it out. I said, I've never grown before, but I've been talking to this guy who knows how to grow. So let me see if he can teach me. So that's how this whole series started. So I was okay purchasing what had to be purchased, knowing that the kit including, the light and the fan and all that stuff was sort of taken care of for me. We're going to put a price sheet so you guys can actually see the price per item of everything. But I wanted to ask Chase, Chase was like, okay, well, you're growing weed indoors, you need a pH pen. And I said, do I? And so I don't want to spend extra money. So every time Chase would be like, okay, we need this piece of equipment, I would say, do we really? And you were sort of forced to work within the constraints of, a lot of seniors are on a limited budget. And it seems like from the comments, people are very quick to purchase things online without thinking it through. So what were some of the items that we were able to skip or postpone?
Yep.
And what were the items, for example, you guys have seen the humidifier running, that was non-negotiable. We needed the humidifier.
Right.
It wasn't included with the tent. I had to buy it. So can we kind of break down what I absolutely did not need and what I did need?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, to kind of go back to the idea of growing with a budget, we are delaying some things. We're not buying certain things. We're taking, from my mind, a bit of a risk, because it's a calculated risk. It's one plant, it's a home grow. If this one dies, you'll plant another one. But it's in an effort to try to see how affordably we can grow indoors.
Okay.
And so...
Because we're being scrimpy.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the fact that we don't have a dehumidifier, to try growing indoors without a dehumidifier is basically unprecedented. But we don't, what we did, we came and we looked at your lung room, which is HVAC controlled. We looked at the temperature that we could take it to. And then we looked at the humidity in your tent, because before we even planted the seed, we put a temp humidity sensor inside and outside.
Right.
And, in the beginning of the grow is not really when you need a dehumidifier. Generally, when the plants are young, you need a humidifier. And then when the buds start to form, there's more transpiration, there's more moisture put off by the plant into the tent. So then you need to take that moisture out.
Okay, because it could become a mold risk.
It could be mold risk, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, mold or bud rot.
Okay.
And so, do I think we're going to need to buy a dehumidifier? Yes.
Okay.
But not yet.
Okay.
So we're seeing what it can do.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's kind of a delay. I think it's inevitable that we'll buy it.
Okay. We didn't get a pH pen.
We didn't get a pH pen. We did the old General Hydroponics pH dropper kit, which works fine, really, if you're just pHing water. It gets frustrating when you start to use fertilizers that color the water. That's a color test. And so then it makes it hard to read.
Are we going to use fertilizers?
Right now we're trying water only.
Okay.
Right? We have our Nature's Living Soil autoflower concentrate that we mixed in.
Right.
We have the Coco Loco that has some nutrient in it. And then we've got the Nature's Living Soil Grow Flower Power to top dress.
Okay.
So we're trying water only.
Okay.
So that's a place where we didn't go for the pen.
How do you think the plant is coming along so far?
It looks great.
It looks really good.
It's healthy. It's a happy plant.
I've never used the term girth before because I just no. I just don't like the sound of it. It's moist. But the first thing I thought when I saw that stalk, because the first, it was like not even as big as my finger before.
Right.
It was like
you called me because you were worried about falling over.
It was like a thread, and it was and now it's amazing. We're debating how much to show you guys because YouTube has told us that they would prefer if we did not show the plant. However, I do have a free Substack, and we're going to be putting together a weekly grow journal with photos on that. So if you guys want to follow along more extensively, please follow the Substack. I'll put a link. Can you also explain, why did we need the humidifier?
Sure. So
because it seems counterintuitive. Because
to need it,
we're in a humid climate.
That's right. But with the doors closed, and the temperature brought down, your AC is essentially taking humidity out of the air. So we need the cool temp to keep the tent from getting too hot.
Okay.
And there's kind of a minimal range of humidity that plants need to grow really well.
Okay.
And so we could have gone without the humidifier, but the kind of minimum, if you're going to try to grow indoors, you know, you really need to try to be in a certain range of temp and humidity. If you don't, you're going to get slow growth, low yield, increased risk of disease. That's just somewhere, you know, you asked me the threshold of need to buy.
Yeah.
And humidifier comes above that because you need that environment. You know, we don't have the humid outdoor air on tap. We have this controlled air on tap.
Totally.
So the humidifier, I mean, to try to sum up the needs, right? Soil, pot, saucer,
Yeah.
grow light, circulation fan, extraction fan, carbon filter for smell.
Yeah, I told them I needed a carbon filter.
Right.
I think it's actually included in the Spider Farmer
In the kit.
And
you have a code too, I think you wanted.
Yeah, so Spider Farmer, if you use the code SavvyX, you'll get 8% off. So that'll help, you know, on top of it.
And Savvy 10 for triangle seeds. Triangle seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we sell 3 packs. So, I mean, that's the smallest we go, but
And it's like
reasonably priced.
like $36 for 3 seeds.
For the Jack Herer, and we have some that are less expensive too.
And I also appreciate that because I've seen a lot of seeds are very expensive and like it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, they can be. I mean, sure. We're kind of mid market, mid to low market. We try to bring in seed lines that we can afford to charge less for.
Yeah. And then some of like the very small purchases that we had to do, like we just put up the trellis net. That was like $5. Zip ties. We got those bud clips.
Yep.
That's a one-time purchase.
Yeah, you can use those forever. That's for training for low stress technique, which is just a fancy lingo term for laying the plant branches out to the side so you get more bud development in the good zone.
Okay. And we'll do a whole video on that.
Yeah, for sure. I want to try to stay high level.
Yeah.
Today as much as we can. And I thought if you want, we could link to the Google Sheet.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'll make a budget.
Great.
And I'll draw the line there of need, nice to have.
Okay.
And we'll just leave that as a public Google Sheet.
Great.
So.
Because I really wanted to like not respond directly, but like I was just with our water conversation, I was just so surprised that like every comment was like, you gotta buy a reverse osmosis machine. You gotta go to the store and buy the spring water.
Don't
You
gotta.
like, but you don't.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if I said this did I say this thing about being satisfied with your work? I did, right?
Yeah, in terms of like limiting yourself to a budget to be
because
satisfaction.
There's something about it with this overconsumption and lack of being satisfied in life. The more stuff we buy, the less happy we are. So I'm not saying like don't buy the tools you need, but don't impulse buy everything that people are saying to buy online. That's it.
Yeah, because the reality is, you know, we talked about it earlier off camera. It's like indoor growing, it's a hobby, right? And it's really in line financially with kind of like a saltwater tank or a reef tank. It's not a cheap hobby, and so we're trying to make it as accessible as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of, you know, ads and things to buy online.
And I see like, you know, we could nerd out with the tech. Like it's pretty cool. I get it.
Which I have traditionally in my grows, I go tech heavy. It's been a business, right? Or
You've had to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just happy that so many people have said that they're willing to consider growing for the first time, that they feel like they can actually handle it after seeing our videos.
That's great to hear. Yeah, I mean, outdoor growing is simpler because you can't control the environment. You're just working with what nature gives you. You know, indoor growing, you know, even as, I think we can go ahead and say it, right? Even as we've tried to be budget focused, the value of the products we've used is close to $700.
Right.
Which is a lot of money.
It is.
It's most of that's equipment that will last you over 10 years. So you can grow a lot of cannabis.
And if you do the math on what you're spending at the dispensary,
sure.
Oh my God, it pays for itself.
Yeah, depending on what state you're in, right? I mean,
yeah. You know, I just didn't want to pay thousands of dollars up front for something I wasn't sure I would really love doing.
I think a number has been thrown around for a long time online is like $1,000 for a setup. And that's, you know, for a decked out 5x5 tent maybe, you know.
But it doesn't have to be that much.
It doesn't, and prices are coming down.
Yeah.
So.
And always look for like coupon codes. And always reach out to the companies and just be like, hey, by any chance, can you guys like give me a code? Because 9 out of 10 times they'll say yes.
It's called the good guy discount.
The good guy discount?
I'm a good guy. You're a good guy.
We call it the Jewish discount.
You said it.
One of those jokes
Yeah.
for this video. That was it. I
can
got
say
one.
that. You can say that.
That was the end of it. So, okay, cool. So we will put the link to the Google Docs with an itemized list. But we're a third of the way into this.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty exciting. I'm learning a lot. And it's looking good.
And I think too, let's speak a little bit on automation.
Yeah, okay, please.
Because automation costs money.
Sure.
But there's value in learning the foundation. I believe there's value in learning the foundations of watering and watching the plant. And automation, not only does it cost more money, but it also can make you miss things in your grow.
Totally.
And I think I'd say you probably have enjoyed having that connection of watering the plant.
And every day
Right.
having to check on it, and having to pay attention.
Yeah.
And having questions.
That's part of the fun for most people with home growing. They're not just doing it to get bud. You know what I mean? There's some enjoyment in the journey and the process, and gardening in general. If you have the space or the ability.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's cannabis or tomatoes, I think it's great. So
if you are growing tomatoes and you don't water them that much, are they going to taste better?
If you don't water them, if you short them the right amount, you can overdo it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But certainly, you can have better tasting tomatoes if you do a little bit of drought stress.
Okay.
Same with cannabis.
Yeah.
A little bit of drought stress is it's going to promote terpene expression as a survival mechanism of the plant. But maybe for these newbies, you know, I wouldn't test your zones of stressing the plant. That's, spoil the first one.
Yeah.
Get some good bud.
Yeah.
And then play with stresses, and that's kind of 201 horticulture.
It seems like a solid baseline that we're doing now. And I also appreciated doing an autoflower because, like, I'm learning everything in a really short amount of time. There's no...
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
Yeah, I just, like, I'm getting the data into my brain. I'm making connections.
Yep.
And, we'll go from there. Awesome.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you for joining us. And next time, let's talk about training, low stress training.
Yep.
And if you guys have questions, put them in the comments. We may or may not answer them. I don't know.
If they're good questions, we'll answer them.
Yeah, if they're good, yeah. Or, just reach out through the website. My email is listed. Okay, cool. And then definitely follow Substack because you're going to see all the pictures of the grow. And I think you guys are going to be pretty shocked as to how big it got because I was pretty shocked.
Yep.
And I've been looking at it every day.
And if I can make a pitch.
Please.
If you go to triangleseeds.com and you sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah.
We've been doing like weekly advice, grow advice.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yep.
Wow.
It's free.
Free. Okay.
So, yeah.
That's even better than paying one-on-one for your service too.
That's right. Free advice.
Okay. But if you want Chase one-on-one, we'll link to that too.
Yep. Home grow coach.
Amazing. Cool. We'll be back next week. And thanks for sticking with us, guys. Bye.
Cool. Definitely over 15.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay.
Just a kind of a brain a switch flipped in my head when you said, tell me about yourself. And I did my classic like elevator life pitch.
Yeah.
Was that fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that bad that I was like, for you, one commenter?
It was funny.
Like,
it was like petty. It was petty, but it was like, it was funny. Yeah. Yeah, and I like didn't like drop. Well, I guess I said